I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. The continuing heat advisory in the area sent many of Newburgh's inner city youngsters to the local aquatic center today for a little watery relief, though not everyone could agree on the water temperature.
Do you like the water?
Love it.
How is it?
Awesome. Nice and warm. It's very cold.
It's cold? Is that good or bad?
Good. It's pretty cold, but it feels good.
The pool has been a busy place this week, and City Recreation Department officials say the heat wave has forced them to extend the pool hours.
So far this week, because of the heat wave, we're open till 8 o'clock at night. We usually close at 4:30. We've been filled to capacity every single day. So people are outside waiting to get in, So what we do is, like, when people leave out, 5 people leave, we'll let 5 people in and try to, appease everybody and keep everybody happy and try to help keep them cool as quick as possible.
Utility officials are asking customers to voluntarily reduce their use of electricity since demand on the power grid could break records today. There is a bit of good news on the horizon. Temperatures are not expected to hit 90 this weekend, and that'll provide us a respite from the intense heat and humidity. It's good news for those who like to use the beach on the Esopus Creek in Marbletown, especially during these days of soaring temperatures. Now that New York City has stopped releasing millions of gallons of water each day into the Esopus from the Ashokan Reservoir, the water current is now considered safe enough for swimmers to enter the water and find temporary relief from the heat. Tuesday, some local campers were allowed to go in, but only in a 2-foot deep kiddie waiting area. Record rainfall last month prompted the releases of water from the Ashokan, which had filled to capacity. Releases now will drop from 350 million gallons a day down to 15 million gallons. Over the past 16 days, the beach in Marbletown was closed 10 days because of the strong currents from those large water releases. Town of Newburgh Police Chief Michael Clancy said his department's seeing an uptick in reports of attempted telephone scams. So-called granny scams target the elderly, with the caller telling his intended victim that a relative's in need of financial help because of a car crash, an arrest, or similar crises. Town residents have been filing complaints about getting the fraudulent calls. Last year, an elderly Town of Newburgh man sent more than $20,000 worth of retail store money orders to help a son, unaware the calls for help were false and that he was being scammed. It's worked in some Sullivan County communities. Maybe it can work in some others. Last evening, residents interested in finding out more about starting up their own neighborhood watch programs learned what needs to be done to get one off the ground during an informational meeting for an initiative called Stepping Up to Safety, a countywide effort to encourage residents to help police by becoming more aware of suspicious activity and reporting it to law enforcement. Sullivan County's seen a spike in residential break-ins in the past year or so. 4 years ago, Pat Lubin helped get a neighborhood watch program organized in her Town of Liberty community after her home was burglarized.
We were pretty upset, but we decided after we put everything in place, we got an alarm system and a dog, and we fortified our house and so forth, but we didn't want to feel unsafe in our community, and other people didn't either. And instead of them living in fear and us living in fear, we decided to be proactive. We know all our neighbors, and they know us. And any suspicious activity goes on, we see it, they see it. People notify whoever they need to notify if they feel something is out of place.
A follow-up meeting will be held September 18th at the Monticello Firehouse for those looking to take the next step and get a watch program organized in their neighborhood. In Orange County Court today, a former Newburgh Medical Office bookkeeper was sentenced to 5 years probation and ordered to pay $50,000 in restitution, money she'd stolen from her employer over the course of a year. 62-year-old Margaret Vredenberg had skimmed off the money while employed as the bookkeeper in the medical office. The office reported suspicions of the thefts in September 2011. Vredenberg was arrested following an investigation. West Point has a new leader. Lieutenant General Robert Caslin Jr. became the 59th superintendent of the U.S. Military Academy during a change of command ceremony earlier today at West Point. Caslin is a 1975 graduate of West Point. His military career includes time served as West Point's commandant and Chief of the Office of Security Cooperation for Iraq. Caslin is taking over for Lieutenant General David Huntoon, who is retiring. Military officials say his retirement is unrelated to a Defense Department report that cited him for misusing his position, government resources, and personnel. According to the report, Huntoon took full responsibility and repaid the affected parties. And the Pike Plaza in Port Jervis has been an eyesore for the past couple of years, as what stores remained were forced to close because of water damage and structural problems. Now comes word that the Port Jervis Planning Board has approved construction of a new standalone Rite Aid building on Plaza property. The original Rite Aid was displaced in June of 2011 and forced into a temporary home on Front Street. Officials with the plaza purchaser, Ellicott Corporation, say the entire plaza will ultimately be renovated. Construction of the new on-site Rite Aid is expected to begin within the next several months. The hot, humid weather shows no signs of breaking anytime soon. Thursday will be hot and humid with temperatures reaching the middle 90s. And you can repeat the same forecast for Friday. More stifling heat and humidity, along with temperatures well into the 90s and a real field heat index topping 100 degrees. We are expecting the weather to break by Sunday. For breaking news, keep clicking here at Record Online. Stay on top of all that's going on by starting your day with the Times Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.